Welcome to Parkinson-Spencer Refractories Limited. The health, safety and welfare of all our employees, contractors and visitors is utmost important to us. That's why on your first day or visit to PSR, you will begin by going through this health and safety induction video. This video is a brief overview of how we keep everyone on site safe. You will be guided through fire safety and evacuation, correct PPE to be worn, the importance of near-miss reporting and where to report near misses, and where any health and safety information can be found around the site. If the fire alarm is activated, you are asked to proceed as follows. Stop work and make the machine or working area safe if possible, and safe to do so. Proceed to the designated fire assembly point, taking the shortest route possible, following any fire safety direction signs. At the assembly point, ensure you have been accounted for by reporting to your line manager. If you discover a fire, raise the alarm by activation of call points or by the quickest means possible. If it is safe to do so and without any personal risk to yourself and you have received training and feel confident to do so, attempt to fight the fire, ensuring that you have a safe means of escape. If you are unable to put out the fire, please proceed to the fire assembly point. Each department has trained fire marshals. Details of who and which department can be found on the notice boards located in the clocking office, canteen and office notice boards. All visitors and contractors to our premises are subject to the company's health and safety policy. All visitors and contractors must sign in at reception first. Visitors shall be accompanied whilst on site by the relevant PSR employee. All visitors and contractors must adhere to the pedestrian routes that are laid out around the site. Where visitors are permitted restricted access, those restrictions must be strictly observed. Any PPE that has been issued must be worn in the relevant areas. Please observe the signs on entering each department. Contractors, where appropriate, will be issued a permit to work if all relevant risk assessments and method statements have been signed off by the relevant PSR employee. To help keep our employees, visitors and contractors safe, we operate a strict pedestrian and vehicle segregation route around the site. All employees, visitors and contractors must adhere to the designated routes by following the painted areas and barriers. Please familiarize yourself with your nearest first aiders to your working or visiting area. Details of first aiders are shown on the health and safety information boards located in the clocking office, canteen and office notice boards. First aiders can also be identified through the first aid badge located on their workwear. If an accident occurs, please shout for help, or if capable, report to your nearest first aider. They will assist and treat you to the best of their capabilities. If the injury requires additional treatment, we will arrange for you to be taken to hospital. If it is deemed an emergency situation, an ambulance will be called. The first aider will, as soon as is possible, start completing the accident record form. When you are well enough to do so, you will be asked to assist in the completion of the accident record form. The accident record book is held in reception. At PSR, the health and well-being of our employees, contractors and visitors is very important, and PSR has different ways in which we can offer support. Our trained mental health first aiders are here to provide that extra support when it is needed. Our mental health first aiders can be identified through the mental health first aid badge displayed on their workwear. The names of our mental health first aiders can also be found on the health and safety information boards located in the clocking office, canteen and office. Any support given is in strict confidence between you and the mental health first aider. A near miss is an undesired event that under slightly different circumstances could have resulted in harm to people or damage to property, materials or the environment. When to report a near miss. As soon as possible after the incident has occurred, so action can be taken to prevent reoccurrence. How to report a near miss. A near miss can be reported by using the QR code displayed in each department and on notice boards around site. If you require assistance, please speak with your line manager or point of contact if you are a visitor or contractor. Examples of a near miss: a heavy item falling from a height, falling or tripping over something, an oil spill not cleaned up, creating a slip hazard. How to help prevent a near miss: removing combustibles next to battery charging areas, removing slings from use if their markings have been removed, damaged, or are absent. High standards of housekeeping are essential if the risks of an accident are to be minimized. It also helps provide a better work environment for you and your colleagues to work in. To help ensure this, the following points should be followed. If any substance is spilled, please ensure that it is cleaned up immediately. Do not leave objects lying around on the floor of the work area. Never put sharp objects or glass into waste paper receptacles. Please dispose of these in the sharps bin provided in your department. Please do not leave sharp objects lying around. Always use a tidy and systematic method of working, which will ensure that jobs are done safely and efficiently. Remember that finishing a job includes tidying up afterwards. Safe access to all workplace areas must be provided and maintained at all times. Bins are provided for the disposal of waste materials. Please ensure that materials are disposed of in the appropriate bins. Tools and equipment provided by the company must not be removed from the premises without first obtaining written permission. All equipment that is provided by the company is to have a pre-use visual check to ensure it is fit for purpose prior to use. It is to be cleaned at the end of each working shift to be left ready for use and in good condition. All tools and equipment are to be regularly inspected and repaired or replaced as required. The results of the inspection are to be recorded. Do not use any equipment if you have not been trained to do so and do not feel confident in using it. Ladders and steps are only to be used by competent, trained personnel who are authorized by the company. All ladders are to be inspected prior to use. Only personnel who are deemed to be competent, trained, and who are authorized by PSR management are permitted to use electrical power tools. All power tools are to be inspected prior to being used and at regular intervals thereafter. Any personal electrical equipment brought onto the premises must go through portable appliance testing. Prior to bringing any personal electrical equipment onto the premises, you must ask your line manager for permission. If authorization is given, the item will be logged for testing. A common cause of accidental injury is incorrect lifting and handling. The consequences can be painful and long-term. Should your work involve the movement of bulky or heavy items, you will be given the necessary training in the correct methods of lifting and handling. Basic precautions to minimize injury are: do not try to lift or carry anything that is too heavy or too bulky to be handled comfortably. Look for alternative means such as using a trolley, mechanical aids, or ask for assistance. Is the item to be lifted in a container that is safe and without risk of injury when being handled? Remember to lift slowly and smoothly, avoiding any sudden jerky motions. Also observe the same points when lowering the load. Avoid moving the load if vision or space is restricted. The personal protective equipment requirements around site varies depending on department. When entering any area within the factory and technical services workshop, all employees must wear a bump cap and safety boots. These will have been issued to you on your first day with PSR along with the relevant uniform where required. Any visitors will be issued the relevant PPE on arrival. Further PPE is required in different departments. You can identify what is required by looking at the safety signs that are shown on entry to the department. Please adhere to the safety signs at all times. This additional PPE includes eye protection and ear protection. FFP3 masks and gloves will be required to carry out certain jobs. This PPE will be detailed in the safe working practice for that specific job. Any staff employee or visitor entering the factory or technical services workshop must wear the appropriate high-vis jacket. All our employees have access to food storage areas and facilities, including refrigerators, microwaves, kettles, and hot water dispensers. There is a canteen in the factory giving a clean space for employees to eat away from their machines. In the office block, there is a break room upstairs and a kitchen downstairs. There is also access to a selection of subsidized vending machines. PSR offer a free laundry service to all factory employees to help prevent any damage to your home washing machines that may occur from the refractory dust particles. For further information and other welfare benefits PSR has to offer, please refer to the onboarding booklet which was handed to you on your first day. Parkinson-Spencer Refractories are committed to providing a safe, healthy, and productive working environment, and this includes ensuring that all employees are fit to carry out their jobs safely and effectively in an environment which is free from alcohol and drug misuse. The purpose of this policy is to increase awareness of the effects of alcohol and drug misuse, and its likely symptoms to ensure that all employees are aware of their responsibilities regarding alcohol and drug misuse and related problems. All employees who have an alcohol or drug-related problem are encouraged to seek help in confidence at an early stage. Employees who have an alcohol or drug-related problem affecting their work are dealt with sympathetically, fairly, and consistently. Parkinson-Spencer Refractories will not accept any employees arriving at work under the influence of alcohol and drugs, and/or whose ability to work is impaired in any way by reason of the consumption of alcohol or drugs, or who consume alcohol or take drugs on our premises other than prescription or over-the-counter medication. The company has a legal obligation to ensure the well-being and safety of its employees. Any action by an employee that endangers the health and safety of themselves, other employees or other persons, through incapacity for work or poor performance at work due to influence of drugs and alcohol, will be considered an act of gross misconduct. All employees should not drink alcohol or take drugs during the normal working day, at lunchtime, or at other breaks. Drinking alcohol while at work without authorization or working under the influence of alcohol or drugs may be considered serious misconduct. Parkinson-Spencer Refractories reserve the right to conduct searches for alcohol or drugs on our premises, including, but not limited to, searches of lockers, filing cabinets and desks, vehicles, bags, clothing, packages, or any other personal possessions. In cases where there is reasonable cause to suspect that an individual's performance is impaired as the result of drug misuse, they will be asked to participate in a drug and alcohol screening process through urine and oral fluid sample collection. The company reserves the right to carry out alcohol breathalyzer checks or other testing on any employee at any time. Alcohol and drug-related problems may develop for a variety of reasons and over a considerable period of time. We are committed insofar as possible to treating these problems in a similar way to other health issues. We will provide support where possible. If an employee believes that they have an alcohol or drug-related problem, then they should seek specialist advice and support as soon as possible. The confidentiality of any employee experiencing alcohol or drug-related problems is maintained appropriately. For further information on the points raised in this video, please refer to the Health and Safety Policy, which can be found in your staff handbook. If you have any questions, please discuss these with your line manager. Thank you for watching this video.